Hey there, welcome back friends. Today we will try to understand couple of more things and we will try to organize our application furthermore. In our last video we have created this very small little form and we have given the action as the context path and then /app controller. The reason being we were planning to organize our application furthermore. If we currently check, there is only one servlet and the name of the servlet is a home controller, and this servlet is doing plenty of the stuffs like listing the user, and now we are also planning to add a yet another functionality of adding the user. Now this is cool, but definitely this is not a organized and standardized application. We should like differentiate specific things. For example, if there are couple of operations like listing the user, adding the user, modifying the user, deleting the user, all the operations related stuff needs to be handled by a separate controller, separate servlet. Whereas whenever we are loading some static content, for example the home page or the about page or the pages where only the text content is there, definitely we should create a different servlet, different controller which will handle only the static content. So let us try to modify things a little, and in here, as we have plenty of things related to operations, let us modify the name of the mapping and we will give the URL mapping as operation. Alright, so this looks good. Now as soon as we give a custom, updated URL mapping value, definitely there would be some broken links, and let me show you where to fix these broken links. Definitely the navigation bar is inside our header section, so let us open up the header, and here the section where we have given the navigation link is right in front of us, right? Now friends, if we check, definitely we need to update, we need to upgrade these links, but for home page we will do something special. We won't update this as of now, but we will update these two links, listing user. So let us use the updated URL mapping, which is operation. Again, for add user, let us add in the URL mapping operation. Alright, so this looks good to me, and we will fix this home in couple of minutes. Alright, now friends, we have given the URL mapping as operation. Let us also fix the name. It would be like operation controller, and we need to also rename the file. So we will hover upon this and we will select this option of rename the compilation unit to operation controller.java. Alright, now moving forward, let us create a yet another controller, and we need to add a servlet real quick. Let us search for servlet. Here we go. We will give the class name as site controller. Here we go. Let us click on finish, and here is our servlet. Alright, let me get rid of all of these comments, and we won't require the do post method as well. Let me delete that. Let me also delete this part, and let me also delete the content which is inside the do get method. Alright, so now things looks better. Now to this web servlet we will update this particular URL mapping again, and this would be only site, so it would be like /site. Cool stuff. Alright, now moving forward, let us navigate to operation controller. Let me expand this. So when it comes to the home page, definitely we will only make use of displaying the information which is in our homepage.jsp file. This is a static content, so let us do one small little thing. We will simply cut the information related to the home page and we will paste it inside the site controller, and we will also update the header file. Let me show you. So now first of all let me navigate to the header file, and the home page link would be /site. Alright, and now let me copy some of the content which is first of all reading the parameter and then the starting part of this particular switch case. Let me paste this in here, and let me close this case as well. And definitely home page method needs to be called again, so we will simply cut this entire method from here and we will paste this in here. All right, so this looks good to me, and we will also add in the default case, and we will paste this in here. All right, cool stuff, nice. And finally, let us also copy this part and paste this method inside the default controller. All right, so I guess everything is good enough, and in here we need to remove this case of home page. All right, good stuff. And format things a little. All right, now the scenario is that this operations controller is handling the listing user, adding user, then we will also add couple of more operations inside this, whereas the site controller is handling the static things like loading the home page or loading the error page. Likewise, inside this operation controller we also have the error page case. Alright, so this looks good to me. And now moving forward, let us navigate to add user, and we will submit this form to where? We will submit this form to the operations controller. So let me copy this particular URL mapping and let me paste this in here. All right, so this is good stuff, but we will be like submitting this particular form using the method as not get but post. Now, as soon as we are making use of this post, we will require a yet another method in here. Let me expand this. So we have this method whose name is doGet, but we will require a yet another method by the name of doPost. So let us create that. So in here, we will simply tap into post and we will try to autocomplete. And here is the method. And definitely we have some content inside this. Let me get rid of it. So when the user will submit this add user method, definitely the doPost method would be called, and we need to handle this form inside the doPost method of the operation controller, right? So how to handle this particular form submission is something which we will see in our next video, but as of now let me quickly run this application and check whether everything is working properly or not, and is there any broken link or is there any mistake which we have did. And here is the output. Now friends, to be very honest, whenever we modify an application, there is a huge scope that there could be some kind of error, some kind of exception. So always try to manage your application right from the beginning, architect your application properly, else you will face issues, right? So architecting and managing the application is very important. The naming convention and other conventions need to be set right away, right at the beginning of your production, right before the beginning of the development. All right, so this is good. Let me click on the home link. All right, so there is some kind of error. There is some kind of error on our this link. So okay, so let me check the header file once again. All right, so I guess we have forgot to save the header file, which is strange because we have made this change. Nevertheless, let me refresh this page. Let me expand this. All right, so the home page is getting loaded properly. Let me click on list users. All right, so the listing part is again done properly. Let me click on add user. All right, and if we clicked on this add user button, then definitely there would be a blank page, and here is the blank page. All right, so everything is working properly. This is cool stuff, and in our next video we will proceed further and do something more in our application. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.